I have a lesson in less than an hour, and he's peeing. The weak-bladdered. I dropped a pencil. This is when he leaves me for the next hour. He doesn't come back. I'm like slightly not centered. There we go.
I ran into an issue.
Yeah, you're supposed to pull down your trousers.
No, my top's tucked in, so it took longer.
Oh, okay.
I forgot I was wearing a tucked in long sleeve.
Oh, I thought
and I like got there and I was like,
underneath your jumper, you're like keeping warm.
I forgot to take my Spider-Man costume off for Halloween. God damn it. How you been?
I'm alright. How are you?
I spoke to you fairly recently, like a week ago.
Yeah.
You guys might notice it's a short episode of Family Gathering today. I had a lab session that was 2 hours this morning. George now has a lecture thing. I
have a lesson that I have to be there for at 12.
Wait, on campus?
So it's like a 5-minute walk, but it should be okay.
Shit. Okay, well this is going to be a very short episode. And then George seeing his dad because UK is going into another lockdown. Woo! We just can't get enough of this lockdown.
I know, right?
Life.
The economy's loving it.
Yeah, I mean the recession. Oh, it couldn't be more recessioned if it tried. Yeah, it was announced. What day is it today? It's Wednesday, Monday. It's Monday. No, it's Monday. I'm pretty sure.
No, it wasn't. Was it? It was announced on Halloween, Saturday.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It was Halloween because I tweeted, you're already ruining our life with how you're handling the pandemic. Stop ruining my evening. I just want to watch spooky movies. Hurry the fuck up. Yeah, we sat. He was meant to do a conference at 6 o'clock.
It was 7 by the time.
No. It was 5 o'clock and it ended up being 7. So it was actually he was 2 hours late. Which is great. Did you watch it? I watched it. I watched it live. It was very much my favorite part.
We need to go on lockdown starting Thursday. It's like...
my absolute favorite part is that obviously they're informing us, but it only got it's actually being voted today, I guess. The plan for the lockdown had to go through the House of Commons. So it should have been voted today around lunchtime probably, but the assumption is it's happening.
Yep.
And my absolute favourite part of the whole talk was when we sat through about 10 minutes of just pure data.
Pure graphs.
It was just
graphs. The same, because it was the same curve.
Yeah, and
all the time.
And he was like, as you can see, and I was like, I can't see anything. It's colourful. Good job. Good contrast. But no, it's what the graph said that was funny. It was saying that all the people our age are the biggest transmitters of the virus. And then they turned around and said, so we're going into lockdown. Universities and schools are staying open, despite the graph saying that you guys are the biggest transmitters of the virus. But you can still go in.
Like moved into their accommodation the day that everybody went back to school, was the day it started rising again.
That's the thing. They didn't seem to know. They were like, oh, universities, they should open. They're fine. And it was like, yeah, but all of the spikes were in September. That's when everyone went back to school and university. And that matches up with the data that our age group were the biggest transmitters. It doesn't make any sense.
Also,
I think really they want us to pass it on constantly and keep passing it on until we've all had it, because they still believe in this immunity thing, even though some people have had repeat cases.
I like the fact that my life in this second lockdown isn't going to change at all. I just can't go to the pub anymore. Like I can go to lessons. My the studio rooms are still open because it's all on the university campus. It's like the campus shop is still going to be open because it's essential items, so I can still go and buy sketchbooks and all of that sort of thing. And it is the sort of feeling of, what's the point if things are going to stay the same, but some people aren't going to be able to go out and work, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think this lockdown's going to have the effect this time that it would have last time, or that it did have last time. Just because of the fact that not everything had been shut down. And I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
obviously,
I think it won't because universities. Yeah, because universities are back. I think that you're right. I think you're not going to see I think you'll see a change. I don't think you'll see as big a change. Like, it was a lot bigger last time. I'm obviously upset about it because me and Eve have only just started recently, kind of going out a bit more. We go get some lunch sometimes. Only to the places we know are like fine. Like Weatherspoons we went to once because we realized, I told you as well, it was eat out.
Stay out.
They're continuing the sort of that they're doing that. So everything was, it was like £3 for a burger and chips and a drink and onion rings. Great. And I was just really craving it, and Eve got back really late from a long day, and we were like, let's just go get a cheap dinner. And we went there, and it was a bit crowded kind of in the entrance, but once you sat down upstairs in the one here, it was like empty. So I felt okay. Everywhere else though we know is really, really, really good at social distancing, and so we go there, going to more coffee shops and stuff, but now we can't do that. I feel like that was really good for mental health.
I was gonna say that's one thing that I miss is being able to go and sit in a coffee shop again.
I get the mental health side of it. I get that it's gonna suck for some people, 100%. But I also understand that people are dying. And that has to take precedence because, you know, that's just
talking about precedence.
That can't go on forever. Let's not talk about that until it's happened.
Yeah, true.
It's still going on. But yeah, I don't want to go into lockdown, but I think we need to. I get it. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. They shouldn't be sending us back. I'm lucky my university was already operating fully online. Nothing is changing for them. I think maybe some courses had to do some physical stuff. Maybe some sciences, I guess. They would need lab equipment and stuff. But that can be socially distanced quite easily and quite nicely.
All lab equipment gets cleaned and sterilised anyhow after being used.
Exactly. There are other things like dance and acting and stuff. I know they're struggling to do socially distanced. That's the stuff that's going to be
I had an acting for animation lesson the other day.
What?
So, as part of...
Why are you doing acting?
Thanks, dude. No, I'm joking.
Well, you had to do it in college when you did your thing.
So, basically, we have acting for animation courses. Or, like, lessons in our course. Some people, they claim that it's a way for us to, like, chill out and loosen up because we're all constantly sat in seats, like, drawing, whatever.
Which I get that, yeah.
But, you know, when an acting lesson is you sat in a seat on a video call, passing around a ball of energy, literally, the woman, she goes, right, we're going to pass around this. She starts doing this. She's like,
oh my god.
So
she's the avatar.
Anyway, so she's there doing this, and she's like, well, I'll demonstrate. I'm passing this to Luke. And then you have to be like, oh, now I'm passing this to George. And like all that rubbish. It was the worst. She made us stand up and do this, so it looked like we were all holding hands. It was dreadful. But yeah, the arts and drama especially are massively struggling in being able to do this. I have a friend here who's a music student, and so far all she's been able to do is theory because it's difficult to get that sort of connection and be able to get good critique over a video call, which isn't necessarily solid, you know, especially with our internet.
Yeah, so I mean the delays. I've been there with music, and yeah, it's not fun. I know that Eve's really struggling with the acting side and stuff. They've been told obviously universities are still open, and they haven't really said what they're doing. But Eve's basically emailed in saying, "I'm not going in."
Talking of Eve, she was in a short film, wasn't she? Little ghosty one. Was she the ghost?
She was the ghost.
I was watching it, I was like, I'm going to assume that Eve is the one in the sheet.
Yeah, so the person who you could see is Jade. That's Eve's friend, and Jade is friends with the people who are making the film. And so Jade was like, "Hey Eve, do you want to like do a short film with me over a weekend?" This is like a couple, maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I don't remember. Time is irrelevant to me right now. Yeah. So like, obviously, it's one of those ones where she doesn't have any lines. Neither of them do. Jade isn't actually even the one narrating it. It's the author, the one who wrote the thing. So all they're doing is pure physical acting, and it's so funny how much physical acting Eve can do with a huge sheet over her.
Yeah.
She had so much like cheeky emotion from that ghost, and it was just the head movements were so good. My favourite scene is the one where Jade walks up the stairs and Eve just goes like that. She's under the stairs, like watching her. Yeah, it was really funny. I really enjoyed watching it. My favourite part was when we were watching it together, first time watching it. She was like, "Oh, here it is," in the credits, and they spelled her name wrong.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everyone spells her name wrong. Like, I said to her, your parents tried to make it so easy for you. They gave you a 3-letter first name and a 4-letter surname. No middle names. Nobody can spell it. You say Maya, they say Maya. Maya, Mia. They all say it wrong. Like, I don't get
Maya,
how
isn't it?
it's Maya. Yeah, it's not. And even when you think they're about to get it, they put an S on the end,
Myers.
And it's just like,
Myers.
oh my god,
Oh,
yeah. But they were able to change it for the video, but the posters were all made up because they did it because they had a friend who like does that as a course, and so they got them to make the posters. But they say Maya. So what I said to her was she should star out the E. And then when she takes her name by equity, she should call herself Eve Mayer, but with a star over the E. She's correcting it every time.
Nice. That's cool.
It was funny, but she had a lot of fun doing it, and it was like I think it's quite well shot. I really liked the cinematography in it, and all of the lighting was really beautiful, and the color correction that was very blatantly done. I mean, nothing looks like that. It was just nice. I liked it. Yeah, it was a good experience for her, I think. She was. That's the thing about all of the social distancing around COVID, is that it's given Eve more space. They're on campus less. And their campus is a bit oppressive. Not campus, of course. So she's always working. Yeah. And since COVID, that workload is spread out a lot better. It's more manageable. Yeah. So she was able to do that for a weekend, which is good. And I'm hopefully going to get... I'm currently doing narrative design for something that me and 2 friends want to do. But I don't want to go on about that until...
set in stone.
It's more... I mean, this is very like early stages. Yeah. I just started doing the narrative. But I think Eve would be quite funny for it. So I want her to do the main person, and also free voice acting. So. I'm not going to complain about that.
Never complain about free labour.
So is it your dad's coming up to visit you? Yeah. Is your mum coming as well? Or is he coming from work?
Coming from work. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go with him today. Because usually what I'll do is hop in the van with him for a little bit. Because I probably won't be able to do that, obviously, in lockdown.
Right.
Just out of safety. He's bringing down a bunch of frozen meals that my mum has cooked. Even though literally I got a £40 Asda shop delivered to me this morning, which was like the salad stuff, like burgers and chicken breast and like all of these actually nutritious things.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you. And she was like, right, I've packed you some lasagna, some Hunter's chicken, and some turkey burgers. I'm like, okay, great. And then she's like, and then I got Chelsea messages me, and she's like, I've made you some paella. I'm like, okay, great. So I need to like freeze all of that stuff when that comes. But my freezer is currently like chock-a-block with stuff that I've just gotten from Asda.
Yeah.
But having that support from home is quite nice. But yeah, it means that I'm not going to be able to see my dad for a little bit, which is fine. I'm surprised. I don't know if you've been speaking to students on your course or whatever. I'm surprised at the amount of people who are actually planning on going home during lockdown.
Did you see the appeal?
What was that? No,
The government made an appeal, and then they said, if you're a student, please don't go home.
Yeah, I heard that some of the students at Exeter University were literally emailed saying that they weren't allowed to go home. And I think I know that someone here was planning on social isolating for 10 days and then going home and driving home for the rest of the lockdown. But then that's still Like, I don't know how effective that would be, but also because our lessons are still happening and we still have to attend those lessons, it's not really social isolating.
Because university is open.
So you're still
like, I get it if it goes over Christmas. Yeah. I do understand 100%,
that. All for like lockdown and everything, but if this lockdown goes past the 2nd of December, I'm gonna make plans to head home for Christmas, just because I want to.
I'll be going home for Christmas.
Not only Christmas, but it's my birthday and my sister's birthday as well, and I like to spend that time with my family.
Yeah,
and then head back here before New Year's.
I totally.
New Year's party.
What they should have done in September is when all the campuses filled up, lock the campuses down. For 2 weeks.
I agree.
But the issue is a lot of them were getting it after because they were going drinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it goes to Christmas, we'll be going home. I actually don't finish. The original plan is Eve will be going home a week before me.
On you?
Oh, sorry, a week before me. Because she got a driving test and she couldn't get one here. So she got one in Exeter instead.
Fair enough.
So she's going home a week early to do a bit of practice beforehand.
Yeah.
On the weekend of her test is when I'm going back. My mum was like, I'm not free to pick you up until the weekend and you're like free on the Friday. And I'm like, it's only a day,
Mum. Yeah.
And then later on, my brother calls me and he's like, "Wait, so when is your like last day?" And I was like, "My last thing is on a Thursday evening. I finish at 6:00." I was like, "So Friday is my first day afterwards with nothing." And he was like, "I'll come pick you up that day." I'm like, "It's a day."
Oh, that's really nice. They missed you.
It's a day. Yeah. He was like, "I've got like 15 days of holiday I've not took, so I'll just take a day off and just come pick you up." And then I was like, why don't you just take all of it off so then you can like have Christmas period off? And he was like, because I can sell the days back to the business, because every day is money that I make them, so I can actually sell my holiday days back because of the position he's in, and then he'll get loads more money.
Oh, whoa, fair.
so I think he's planning on doing that, to be honest.
Cashing in those holidays.
I guess he doesn't really know. Yeah, but I mean, why not? I mean, if you could do it, I think some of us would. Yeah. I don't start work till after Christmas apparently, so
really,
that's fun. Yeah, I was like, so the original thing. So to reiterate, I think I've said it before, I'm doing a thing called PAL, where I run a session for students to help them find out things for themselves. Basically, I'm basically a do-it-yourself guru. They're like, how do I reference? I'm like, fucking Google it. I find the resources they need, and then they can help each other. But I don't start until after Christmas because they were saying, hey, do you two, me and a guy called George, who are finished with our applications and stuff, because 2 people had admin issues, and they were like, do you want to take on 2 extra sessions so they can start the same time as all the other courses PAL session starts? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. It's double pay for a few weeks. And then my friend Patricia can sort her admin out, and so can someone else. And then they were like, actually, we changed our mind. We're just going to wait for everyone to be finished. It'll probably start week 17, 18. I was like, okay, what week is it now? Week 5? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Like, after Christmas. But I've actually been asked, because I got asked if I wanted to do a second one permanently, because there are only 4 PAL leaders and there's 5 PAL groups. So it's double pay.
Oh, fair.
So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. It makes up for the lost time. I still get paid for my training.
Do you?
Because I
had
to do
getting paid for training.
Well, the training was 6 hours long, and it was all in my spare time. So they paid me for each one. And that's £11 an hour. So not gonna complain.
Got an extra like 60 quid in your pocket.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking need it, George. The game's coming out. Oh my god.
No.
I bought Watch Dogs Legion. I sold loads of my games to do it. I was just being realistic. I was like, I'm not going to play this. I'm not going to play it. I love it. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. I sold it. I got Watch Dogs Legion. Got a bit of money left over that I'll put towards Miles Morales, which I'll probably get with my 60 quid. And it's just like, at least Cyberpunk got delayed. Let's put it that way.
Otherwise, bank account is crying.
Well, actually, otherwise I just wouldn't be playing it. Like, the decision I came to was Cyberpunk will just wait until I finish Valhalla. And everyone's like, yeah, but it's Cyberpunk. And I'm like, yeah, but your experience in Cyberpunk would be completely different to my experience. Everyone's experience of Valhalla might be quite similar, and it'll be spoiled for me. So I don't want to do that.
Fair.
But yeah. So you were saying like 2 seconds before.
I am thinking of basically money's running a bit tight. So I am thinking about opening up a commissions service.
Do it.
I will. I basically need to sign up to Fiverr. I'm going to do it through Fiverr just because I feel like that's it's an easy way of like getting into it and everything, and being able to create that portfolio and still be able to basically just charge what I want.
Have you watched videos on people who have used Fiverr?
I have not yet. I've seen a while ago, but like I don't know how much the site has changed or whatever.
There's a guy called Sammy G. He's a guitarist, and he does a few videos on Fiverr. And when he does those videos, he gives his 2 cents about what it was like to work from Fiverr, and he says it was just very like difficult. In music, it's going to be harder because they would be like, you know, give me a track that's like, you know, happy and like gives a sense of this. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And so you can't tell me what you actually need me to do. And so I'm just doing your work for you, like making it up. As opposed to the people who do know and they're like, hey, I want this note here and I want it to be like this. Here's the composition I made. I just can't play the guitar. So can you do it for me? Drawing will be completely different, obviously, but it just might be worth looking into it. I think Fiverr might take a share as well, which is standard. Yeah. I don't know what else you could do it through. I mean, if you got a following, you could open up a Squarespace website.
I will open up like a little Wix website, you know, that sort of thing.
Running a Instagram, like pretty heavily on it. Like
to keep doing that because I have the Untempered Productions Instagram, but I barely upload to it. So I need.
You need to treat it like. Well, don't treat it like our YouTube channel. I mean, sorry guys, it's sorry guys, it's sporadic. We have lives. I have a partner. We have university. Things just get in the way. This channel has to come second to our lives. Like it's just the way. Yeah, but treat it like a form. It's content, you know, like
get it out there,
do it like that. And Twitter's quite good. Like connect with other people on Twitter.
Yeah.
I see the biggest communities. I follow a lot of artists on Twitter. The biggest communities are on Twitter because they all comment on each other's stuff and they get to know each other and they're like, "Oh, I saw this piece that was so cool," and just might be worth looking into. I think commissions would be good.
Better at Twitter. Twitter is like a completely different beast to any other social media, don't you think? Like just the way it works, it's kind of amazing.
I just do what makes me laugh. Yeah. Unless it's our channel page, and then it's just like hey guys, we're doing new videos this week. Please watch.
Yeah.
George needs more money.
Yeah. No, so I'm thinking about doing some commissions and stuff.
Do you know what you could do? I mean, you're in a good spot for it. You're in Cornwall. Yeah. Speak to people who run makers markets. Speak to people who run art galleries for students. Like. Do that because you could sell stuff through makers markets. All you'd have to do is do the art and
nearly done with this sketchbook. I'm nearly done with it.
Number 6. Why have you put a line above it? Is that words? Are those words?
Those are words. It says my notebook.
From a distance, if you pull it back and then look at the photo.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I'm almost done. I've got like 3 pages left, and I'm filling it with a bunch of random rubbish. Doing like,
what's your next notebook?
My next notebook. Do you remember that leather-bound notebook that you got me like 3 years ago? I have not been able to use it yet, and I'm so looking forward to actually using it.
It's a buffalo skin leather one. Yeah,
and it's really
I think
nice.
I found it in a market in London.
I have literally
in Covent Gardens.
I have 3 years worth of sketchbooks that people have gotten me that I haven't been able to use yet because I've had such a backlog.
I stopped buying your sketchbooks. It was just a waste.
Yeah.
I think the one I got you I think the one that you have there, that's the last one I got you, and it came with a pen as well.
Yes, and the pen is still in there. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I just remember it was floppy.
Yeah, it's like,
and I was like, another floppy book.
It's almost elven in aesthetic, you know? It looks really nice, and I'm so looking forward to like getting to a drawing for animation class and being like, yes, today in my sketchbook, like it's a leather tome. And it's like, yes.
This is my grimoire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that's cool. That's exciting that you're like near to using it. I mean, I bought you that like 2 years ago. That's how backlogged you were. It's been a while.
And then
I think I was in London for my birthday. I think that's when I got it.
Your birthday?
And that was my 18th birthday, and I'm 20.
Oh my god! You got it for your birthday because you got it on like near your birthday. You were holding on to that for a while.
No. So, okay, when I say for my birthday, we went to see Hamilton for my birthday, but it was later in the year.
Okay. I remember.
But yeah, it was for my 18th birthday gift that I bought it. Like, that's when I was in London. Because that's the only time I go. And I remember in that specific trip, I was in... I'm pretty sure it's Covent Garden, so I might be getting a name confused. But they have a pie shop there that I really like. And so me and Eve went to go get a pie from this pie shop. And then there were loads of markets around, so we went to that. Yeah, I just gave up buying you stuff like that because I knew you had so many. I'm undecided on this year. I have some ideas.
I have some ideas on what I'm getting.
Undecided. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it to the art side. I just like to encourage art. I just think that's a good thing. Like I might by accident give you something that might, I don't know, give you a different perspective or change the way you like. I like to give you different how they drew it stuff. Not how they drew it, but like, you know, like art books.
Oh my god.
And I got
you kickstarted my addiction to the art of books. Genuinely, all of these here are just art of books and how like drawing for animation. I have so many. I have one right here as well. I was looking at it last night.
I've got a couple that I use for inspiration because I do a lot of writing, so I use it for stuff like that. So I have like the God of War one, which you got me.
For your last year.
I've got the Witcher Wild Hunt, which came with the collector's edition. I've got Assassin's Creed ones that come with the collector's editions, and I'll get another one with the new one.
I started like so obviously at CEX, you only if a collector's set hasn't got everything in it, you have to take it as the base. Which means I would literally like take it in and be like, it doesn't have everything with it. I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to take it down as the original. And then I buy it as the original and then return it without the stuff with it. So I have a bunch of art of books of just shit I don't care about. It's like I've got like the Forza Horizon fucking art book.
You're never going to use that.
I'm never going to use it, but it's a nice book. It looks nice.
I remember when Origin, some guy came in. I think this was before you were working there. Some guy came in. He had like 4 different collector's editions he was selling, but he had all the stuff so they were selling as the collector's edition, except for Origins, Assassin's Creed Origins, which came with the statue of Bayek sat on top of a lion god head with a sword in his hand. Yeah, I'm trying to sword in his hand, and he's got the bow on his back, and he's looking up, and it's just really cool. I love it. And it was an Xbox edition, but nowhere on the packaging does it say Xbox. The only thing it says Xbox on is the game in the bottom drawer. Yeah. And I already owned the game for PlayStation, so I bought it and then sold the game back and got like 30 quid back for the game, and now I had the statue. And also because I bought it when I worked there, I got discount on the original thing as well, so I actually profited.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, it worked out, and I'm gonna get the Valhalla one, so I'm gonna have all 3 of the RPG ones. So that's really cool, and that comes on Tuesday. I've got 3 streams, one of them tonight, to finish the DLC that I haven't started. Me and Eve did all 3 episodes of The Fate of Atlantis. That was really cool. But we've got to do the Fate of the First Legacy of the First Blade. I think it's Legacy, and I'm so excited about it because it follows Darius. Classic Darius. And when I say classic, I mean classical studies. He's the one who assassinates Xerxes, who was the guy trying to invade Greece that the film 300 is about, when they fight the Persians in Thermopylae. Saxonized 300. That's who they're fighting, is Xerxes. In Assassin's Creed 2, which came out like 2010 or something, you can get the special black armor for Ezio, but you have to find the assassin seals in all of their burial places. They're all in Italy for some reason, even though all of them they're all from around the world, but they're all buried in Italy. One of them is Darius, the first ever recorded use of the hidden blade. That's all the description I read, all the way back in 2010. This whole DLC is about Darius after he's assassinated Xerxes.
Oh shit.
And I'm so excited to finally... It was always the thing I took away from the game. I was always like, oh, he's the first... He must be the first ever assassin. He's not, but like... And I know that now, but back then I was really caught up on that. So now I get to see that story, so I'm really excited about it. But I've got 3 streams to do it, so... Because Valhalla?
Yeah.
Val fucking Hala. Yeah.
You've been waiting for this game for a while.
Back to your... Yeah, I have been. Yeah, I'm excited. I just want to see if our home is in the game. So badly, and like, I don't know, I'm just excited. I got the collector's edition. I got a season.
Wait,
pass.
What do you mean? What do you mean our home? Is it based in?
What? It's set in
Oh,
England.
okay. I thought you were like it's set in a very specific place in Devon.
No. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, it's obviously Viking themed. It's set in England during the Viking invasion to England, and so it covers like almost the entirety of England. It has Mercia, Wessex, Northumbria. It has it all. We are in Wessex technically. And Wessex is in the game, but I haven't seen how far down Wessex goes because we're down here, and I'm seeing a lot of up here Wessex.
Okay.
So I'm hoping. I just want to find my home. It would be the only game I've ever been able to find my home in. Yeah. Could you imagine how depressing it would be if you only got to Torquay? You're like, really?
Oh, what's this?
But it's really cool because the season pass they did a video about all the DLC that they're doing for the game. They're doing the the Ireland and Northern Ireland raids. That's going to be a DLC. You get to go to Ireland, and the Paris raid. So you get to go to Paris. I'm so fucking excited. Like I cannot wait. It's so good. God. Also, Watch Dogs Legion has been a lot of fun. Yeah? Like genuinely, it's been fun running around London and being like, I just know where I'm going. I've walked this. I know where I'm in Oxford Street. I just go down here, take a right, and I'm at the Cursed Child Theatre.
I was going to say,
I just know where I'm going.
Noticed, obviously, I've seen some trailers and stuff, and you very rarely see AAA titles set in London. They're always set in somewhere in America, and yeah. It's sort of like because obviously, I think Spider-Man did this where like actual places in New York, like actual streets and stuff like that, were modelled and put into the game, so that there's that sense of familiarity for people who actually live in New York or have visited New York. Doing that with London is fucking awesome. It's really good. It's
because everything in New York is gridded.
Yeah.
America's newer. They had a better plan. They wouldn't have that plan if it wasn't for us fucking up how we did our roads and layouts. But because London is so old, it's just a clusterfuck, and it's not an easy thing to do. And when I say they nailed it, I mean it. Like I recognize everything. There's nothing out of place. I'm walking around. I'm like, what the fuck's that weird shop? And I'm like, oh my god, it's the fucking weird shop me and Eve saw, and we said, what the fuck is that shop when we were in Camden Market? It's actually there. And to top this, we stood outside it for 5 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck that shop was. Suddenly the door opened. It looked like a fucking nightclub in there. It was like constantly like bouncing music and lights and stuff. It's a clothes shop.
What?
It's a clothes shop in game as well.
Oh my god,
like they
amazing.
fully smashed it.
That's
yeah,
really cool.
It's amazing.
I really like that.
And I unlocked a Hitman and a Spy. I only want a team of Hitman and Spies because they're just fucking cool. And my favourite spy was Darcy Smith. I got killed yesterday and I'm still not over it. Because once they die, they're dead. You don't get back. And every time I think I'm about to get over it, I see someone in the street and they have a little icon next to them, meaning that I've had DedSec, my group of DedSec has had interaction with that stranger before. And it could be like, oh, Operative X saved their cousin from this, or like,
so it keeps
they were
reminding
hospitalized.
you.
Yeah, and I walked past some guy and I was like, oh, and I looked at it and it was like hospitalized by Darcy Smith, and I was like, and it was like Darcy Smith killed their brother, and I was like, I'm just not over it. It's sad, but it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's interesting take on a game. I figured I'll buy it. If I don't like it, I'll sell it towards Miles Morales. If I keep it because they're doing DLC, I might get the DLC. They're doing a DLC where you get to play as one of the assassins they brought up in the modern day. Nice. She has an actual hidden blade on the top of her arm and everything. And they're also continuing Aiden Pierce's story, who's the guy from the first game, but he's an old man now. So I'm really excited to kind of see what they do.
Yeah.
We'll see though. I'll see if I keep it that long. They're opening up multiplayer in December.
Fun.
Open world London multiplayer. I thought that would be quite fun for us to do, maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you'd have to buy the game, and you'd also have to get PlayStation Plus because I'm playing it on PlayStation. Because I figured that I'd get a free upgrade to PS5. And I could sell it as well. That was the other thing. If it's bad, I could sell it. But yeah, it's good. I suggest looking into it at least, as opposed to buying it straight away. It's an interesting game. It's very Ubisoft. Some of it's a bit repetitive, but I find the gameplay really fun because the hitmen are doing John Wick executions on people. They'll like snap their arm back and then shoot them in the head, or they'll like kick their leg out from under them and like shoot them 3 times in the chest as they fall down to the floor and stuff. It's awesome. I love it. It's so cool. But other than stuff like that, that's been my life. Just waiting for video games.
Yeah, my life has consisted of basically just a lot of work.
I slacked for like a week and a half, and I felt so shit about it.
There's that,
and then I went to my lab.
It's weird how
you get
you get that workless guilt, don't you? And then
but then I went to my lab this morning, and they were like, "Here's how you plan a low fidelity GUI," and I was like, "Oh, I actually made the GUI 3 weeks ago. Like I fidelity
so you've had a week off, and they just
that.
got up to you."
But no, they haven't. They're only just planning. I've made the GUI.
Oh my god!
So I was like, I feel a bit better.
No, I actually went into the studio yesterday because sometimes I struggle working on my PC setup in my room because there are so many distractions. Because it's so easy just to be like, oh, YouTube, oh, Netflix, like doing all of this.
It's easy for me to just literally go,
yeah. Straight up.
Like, so easy. So
I actually went into the studio yesterday and did some work. Did some Maya work. So 3D stuff. Next week I start sculpting in 3D, and I'm really not looking forward to it.
I tell you what, George, when you start it, when you say sculpting, are you sculpting in Maya?
I don't know. It might be using ZBrush.
You can't have ZBrush at home, is the only thing.
Okay.
They don't do student licenses. You'd have to pay for it.
Well, I have
you paid for everyone.
The Quest now, so I can use Tilt Brush.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if it was box modeling, which you can sculpt and it's not sculpting really. It's not like using clay and deformation and stuff. It's box modeling, but then you smooth it and it looks like something. That's what I'm doing this semester as well. And I've not started mine. So if you started yours next week and that's what you're doing, we should just do it together. We'll just hop on the call and we'll just suffer. I've not started mine. I'm meant to be doing Batman. I'm just not feeling it.
Nice. Your beard's looking majestic as ever.
It's looking fine. It's okay. It's healthy, so I can't complain. But it's like it's been a bit coarser. You can see the hair sticking out.
Your hair and your jumper mixed together make your beard.
Do I have a beard or a jumper?
or a shin jumper?
What are you doing anything to prepare for lockdown other than your food shop?
Not really. Like I say, nothing really changes for us. Like I just won't be able to go to Spoons, which I didn't do very much anyway. Not a lot's gonna change.
Me and Eve are gonna go for a cafe visit in this break when you go to work, and then you go to meet your dad straight after.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm probably gonna. I don't know how long. I don't want to put a time on it for you and your dad and stuff. But we're probably gonna go to a cafe, just before lockdown, just to get that sort of outside. We've done something.
Well, I should be free at some point on Friday. So if you want to film some gameplay stuff, then to make sure we have a lot of time on the Friday.
Yeah, I mean, if you're free later, we can still do that later.
Yeah, of course.
I'll
message you when I get back.
And then that will have a lot. Yeah, do. And that means we'll have a lot. We'll have a lot. I mean, my goal, from where you are now, my goal is to, if we do a Friday session, complete the game by Friday. Yeah. If you complete the game by Friday, what do you want to play next?
Yo, I genuinely want to play God of War. I've been one of my flatmates, Christina, asked me if she could play it. So she's been playing through the story on her own account, set up on my PS4. And I've been, basically, we've gotten into the routine of sitting in the kitchen until the early hours of the morning. Actually, the late hours of the morning, playing various video games. Last night we were in...
So have you been seeing anything of God of War?
Weirdly enough, the only bit that I was sat there for was the bit that 2 years ago when you were playing through it, I was sat there for. So I was like, I recognize this. It's when you unlock the World Serpent and it's like doing all that shit, and then you
That's such a cool scene.
It is a really fucking cool scene.
Yeah.
And the up to the point where I don't know what they're called, but the weird like elf people with the bug wings. It's like
the Elfheim. Oh, do you mean the dark elves?
Yes, that's it.
But you're in Alfheim, yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've seen. And then last night, she bought Red Dead Redemption, so I was watching her play that, which I might also play.
We're not gonna play that on Get With The Times. It's fucking huge and it takes forever. It's just a bit grindy to be. Yeah, I do suggest you do that if you're able to. I sold my Red Dead the other day
to pay for
Legion. I've been holding on to it for so long and thinking like the online will get good at some point. The online will get good at some. It's not. There's just no content. It's boring. There's nothing to do. It's a shame because it's so fun mechanically to play and it looks astonishing. There's nothing more real than that game. Do you? Probably about 2 years ago, you were playing God of War at my house. Yep. Do you remember any of that?
I only played the first hour. Not even that.
No, you played a little while.
I did the first.
I think you got to Alfheim. No, actually,
I definitely didn't do that. I played up to the point where I think we had. It's when you have to leave home with Atreus because that one god bloke found you. And that's literally that's as far as I remember. That's where I got up to.
So, are you sure you definitely want to play that and get with the times? You feel like you don't know enough.
I don't know enough about the story, but I'm massively intrigued by it, and I feel like taking you on the journey with me will be the best way to experience the game.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
God of War is the game that I play to ground myself and remind myself why I'm doing games design. Yeah. Like whenever you have, everyone has doubts. When you have doubts, I just play God of War, and I'm like, this is what I'm doing it for. After God of War, just so we have a plan. Any ideas?
I'm going through my visual library in my head.
We've got the Arkham games, and there's like a few of them to get through. I'm trying to think.
I need to play the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
Especially the earlier ones.
Do you know how many Assassin's Creeds
I know there are a lot, and I will play them on my own time, but I don't know if you want to play through one of the earlier Assassin's Creed games or one of the Tomb Raider games or something like that. Or Uncharted, or anything like that.
I definitely want to do Uncharted with you. You've not played the new Tomb Raider games. They're quite good, except for I thought the last one wasn't very good. But the other two, I pre-ordered it, picked up same day. Me and Eve sat in the room the entire day, completed it the same day, and went, this was bad, and then I just returned it. And when I say it's bad, I mean I didn't like it. It doesn't mean you might not like it. So obviously try it. But I just didn't enjoy it. It didn't do anything new. Like the thing about a sequel is you're like, I want everything the last game gave me and more, but it didn't do that. It felt like it gave me less. Not what you want from a sequel. Uncharted, definitely. The Tomb Raider games would be good. Assassin's Creed, a lot of them are quite grindy and they have side stuff you need to do, and it's not exactly the most fun watching experience. I would suggest you play them, but if we were going to do an Assassin's Creed game, I would suggest that we did the Ezio trilogy. Okay. It's a remastered collection of Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. Nice. They're my 3 Assassin's Creed games. They have the best overarching story and characters, and they also come with a short film at the end that's very, very good. It's an animated short film called Embers. It's very good. There was something else just before you have to go, because you do have to go.
Yeah, I do.
There was another game. What
was it?
You said something.
I said Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, and
I just know we want to do Batman before the new Batman comes.
When is that one coming out?
We both. I don't think we know. I think it's next year, cool, but I don't think we know when. So I'm thinking end of next year. So we have to get really consistent at recording, because it's the only way we'll ever get there in time. So if we say that we do God of War and then maybe start Batman, because there's a few of them, I would like us to, if you can afford it, and I hope you can, maybe we'll save back some money and do it. We'll buy the Batman game when it comes out.
We'll buy it on PC.
Get Plus.
Is that okay to do?
Because
it's easier to record on PC.
Kind of, yeah. I agree.
And it'll be...
Can your computer run that and record?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, but let's do it on PC for that sake. I kind of don't want to, because part of me is like, PlayStation 5.
Oh, true.
But I think you're right. And also, you wouldn't have to buy Plus to play it.
And it's easier to record our audio and everything like this on a...
Well, we're gonna be playing the first 3 Batman games
on PlayStation.
On PC.
Oh, right, yeah. So it makes sense.
because I own them on PC, so the only one you might have to get, but that'll be way in the future, is Arkham Knight, and you can pick it up for like £6 in CX.
Yeah. Either that or just
so,
G2A.
Yeah, actually, I might look at that in a minute and see if it's easier, because it would be easier if you had your own version.
Yeah,
of the
that's
game,
what I'm thinking.
But I'll have a look. I'll see. We'll see what's happening.
Cool.
That'd be a fun one to do after God of War. I think that'd be yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Nice.
You heard it, folks. Yeah, you heard it first.
We need some co-op games to play as well. I think it would be funny to hop into a Lego game and play through some of that.
Hop into a Lego game. I'll have a look. I'll do some research. I'll do some. I've got about half an hour until Eve's free, so I'm gonna do some research into some pricing for some stuff. I'll look at some co-op games. I'll look at some stuff. This was a really short episode of Family Gathering, but it's always fun to talk to you, so I don't really care. Next time it'll probably be normal length again. You don't have. You said last week you don't have lessons from this week.
I am massively annoyed. I no longer had lessons on Wednesday, and I didn't have lessons on a Friday anyway. Then I stopped having lessons on a Wednesday. Then they moved the 2 lessons from my Monday slot over to Wednesday and Friday. So now I don't get a day off. I have lessons every day.
Oh, we're gonna have to change our schedule again.
Yeah, it's but obviously doing things like this is fine. It's only an hour-long lesson I have now, but I should probably leave now, and I do not have socks on. So I'm gonna go.
It's okay. You get ready on camera, and I'll just do the outro while you're getting ready. Yeah, it was a short episode. Hopefully, from what George just said, not very likely. Hopefully, in the future, we can do longer episodes of Family Gathering. But later on, me and George are going to do some Get With The Time. So that's coming back this week. If we get them done today, I can edit them for Friday, and then we can start the Friday Monday release once more, which would be good. And then hopefully, if we finish it this Friday, that means next recording session, because we'll have a couple weeks of videos, me and George will get a really good head start on God of War, and that will have stuff to be going out constantly. So that's the plan. Which, as you guys should know by now, you shouldn't hold us to, because we're very bad at sticking to plans.
I feel like we need to. We always schedule our uploads, and then we're like, "Oh, we now have this time off," rather than being like, filming more.
I think there have genuinely been a couple of weeks where me and George have both just completely forgotten that it existed.
2 weeks ago, we both did that 100%. And
then last week I was like, oh, it's too last minute to organise.
Right, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I need to put on my belt. This is going to look real bad. Hang on, I'm taking off my headphones.
I don't know, if you're... Yeah, go for it. But yeah, this is Family Gathering, episode 4? 4?
4?
Is it episode 4?
What did you say?
Is it episode 4? This is episode 4.
This is
episode 3?
4, I think, yeah.
Welcome. This is episode 4. Thanks for watching. We're gonna end off here. Watch George get
I have
university.
4 minutes to get to my lesson, which is probably about a 4-5 minute walk away, and I'm not ready, and I need to pack a bag.
This is crisis.